Do you know why sometimes you see the sun and the moon has a twin? That's because both the sun and the moon reflecting on the glass dome. This is the most plausible explanation, cause if they're not the reflection of the moon and the sun, what else could it be? No record from NASA ever captured another sun and moon beside our known sun and moon in the solar system.
So you guys know how flat earthers have been saying for years that satellites in space is totally fake. It's completely made up, and how all these satellites are floating around Earth by helium balloons? Well, we have some breaking news for you on that front. This is an article that came out on Fox News last Wednesday, and it says Pentagon releases YouTube photo of Chinese spy balloon in flight before it was shot down. Then we scroll on down to this. What's that look like to you? Let's zoom in on that. Oh, yep, that certainly looks like a satellite attached to a giant helium balloon. Maybe those flat earthers aren't so crazy, are they? In fact, check this out. I want you to watch this video on NASA's YouTube channel. This is a video of them launching a satellite helium balloon. They don't even lie about it. NASA is the largest consumer of helium on Earth. I guess they called it a spy balloon as to not lend credence to the facts that all these flat earthers keep telling people. Because that is a satellite carried by a helium balloon. The same satellites that all of the United States uses. Because this is CGI nonsense. Also CGI nonsense. Complete and utter fabricated lies. You can't even find a non-CGI photo of a satellite in space. Probably because they don't exist. And apparently the Simpsons have been telling us the truth since the 90s. And constantly, every day, more and more evidence has come to light that completely validates everything that the flat earthers are saying. But hey, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet. I'm sure this is just a complete coincidence. Your government would never lie to you. It's not like the Bible calls Satan the god of this world. And if Satan were the god of this world, it's not like he would want to completely lie to you about God's creation and make you believe in things that discredit the Bible. No, I'm sure that's just a coincidence too. Oh, look, what's that? It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's just a satellite held by a helium balloon.
Probably just another coincidence. Yeah, and that somebody blew them up at like 3:33 a.m. and that it basically talks about rebuilding Babylon. So, that's cool.
This was how the buildings of the old world was powered, harnessing the free energy from the ether above. This is displayed here in a mountain in Saudi Arabia, and in the right conditions, you too can experience the power of the ether at your fingertips. Free and unlimited energy all around us. Yet free and energy are two words that'll never go together for the elites today. There is no profit in combining those two words. It is a big part alone why so much of our past has been deliberately hidden. It's profits over people in today's world. It used to be the exact opposite. Question everything, friends.
How could the moon be self-illuminated if the moon has shadows? This question gets asked all the time by the globe earthers, so I wanted to make a shortened down version to show how this works. As you can tell, when I add a secondary light source to this self-illuminated model, you will see shadows. This video not only shows you how shadows are possible on a self-illuminated moon, but it also shows you how when the moon is closer to the sun, you can see more of the craters. During a full moon, the sun is the furthest away from the moon, and during a cresting moon, the sun is closer to the moon. And just like in reality, the closer I get to the moon with the secondary light source, the more shadows and the more craters actually appear. You can't even see these craters without the secondary light source. If the moon really were only reflecting the sunlight, these craters would always be visible. As you can tell, when this object is not self-illuminated but visible, all of the craters are easy to see. It does not matter how direct my flashlight is on this object. If this object is only reflecting the light from my flashlight, all of these craters are visible. On the contrary, if the moon is self-illuminated and none of the light from the secondary source is reaching the moon, you cannot see these craters. It's not until I add the secondary light source that these craters become visible. This is the craters during a self-illuminated moon. This is what the craters would look like if it only reflected the sun's light. Now let's compare what we see on this model to what we actually see in real life. Non-self-illuminated, only reflecting the flashlight. And then you've got the self-illuminated moon. You simply cannot see these craters until I introduce a secondary light. And just like in my model, when the moon is not full, it is closer to the sun and the craters are more visible. Then when the self-illuminated moon is further away from the sun, the craters become less visible. And again, I'm not making any claims. I'm simply presenting an observation for you to come to your own conclusion. Like always, I'm sure some of you are going to get this message confused. You're going to think that I am making some kind of claim here. All I'm doing is showing the plausibility of a self-illuminated moon having shadows. Wakey wakey, I love you.
Now, I'm not saying the world is flat, and I'm not saying the world is round. But can somebody please tell me, how is it possible that the earth is just flying through the sky? And it's not that we're just flying through the sky. We're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour. Come on, brother. How would you even know that? What tool would you use to measure how fast we're spinning? The way speed is measured is you must know the distance something travelled and how long it took to get there. We're still travelling and we ain't reached our destination yet. And this is another thing I don't understand. On a roundabout, kids are smiling. On a funfair ride, man feel the G-force. But the earth spinning over 1,000 miles per hour, man are eating dinner, bruv. And it's not just the earth spinning, it's everything. So let me see if I got this straight. You're trying to tell me that the earth, the moon, the sun, the planets are spinning round each other while spinning individually, whilst flying through the sky forever. Just forever, no end. Just keep on going. Nah, that don't make no sense. But when I look at the flat earth model, it makes more sense. We're not flying, we're floating in water.
Well, guys, yet another deception. Gravity is a lie. This isn't even me saying this. Isaac Newton, who founded gravity, believed people with an inquiring mind who took on this idea was absurd. They need gravity to keep you in the mindset that you live in a spinning ball hurtling through space at 1,000 miles per hour. If you throw a tennis ball, a wet tennis ball, the water will fly off. So if you think about it, they need gravity to exist to keep the spinning ball light alive. And why does gravity hold great oceans towards the center of the earth, yet birds, butterflies, napkins just seem to fly off? None of it makes sense because, of course, it's not supposed to make sense because it's just yet more BS.
What's up, y'all? Hey, I'm gonna give y'all my theory on flat earth and round earth. Since everybody got their own theory, I'm gonna give y'all mine. Now, my theory on flat earth and round earth is this. Now, me speaking on myself and what I have experienced with flying and being on a cruise for 7 days out on the water. Now, Me and my wife, we went on a cruise back in the end of July and the beginning of August, 7-day trip. Now, being out on that water for that long, I'm gonna tell y'all, bro, it's no curve. There's no curvature of the earth at all. So if y'all think it's a round earth, it's not, bro. The earth is flat. And with me flying, bro, I seen land for miles and miles and miles.
Does anyone want to tell me how in 1927 Universal Studios came up with this picture of the world? When the first picture of the world wasn't available until the 1960s through NASA? Almost 40 years later? How did Universal Studios know that this is what the world looked like? Especially from space, when we hadn't been to space yet. Does anyone know? Anyone want to guess?
Isn't there a problem? What do you think?
This is the Gleason's Flat Earth map. The reason why it would make no sense for a plane to fly west to get to Australia is because you're thinking in terms of a globe. Let's get in a little closer where we could see something. So here's the United States, and this is the North Pole. From the United States, you are going to fly west to Australia. There's some really amazing stuff about our Earth that we were never taught. If you don't open your mind and go looking for it, you're never gonna know it. As I said before, a mind that knows it all has no room to learn. Hopefully this all made a little bit of sense to you, and if nothing else, I can at least get you to stop laughing at people who do look into it. You have an awesome day. Stay blessed.
Just in case y'all forgot, this was the first image placed into the background of the first ever iPhone made. People that charged their phone and turned it on consequently thought this is what Earth looks like. Some people thought, well, this was an image they got from a satellite or, I don't know, a space mission. But in reality, I'm going to show you today on how we got this blue marble. All I did was type in Brian Simmons NASA data. You can see here he was a lead data visualizer and information designer. You can see here it talks about conversations with Goddard, but down here is the important part. You get down here to settling and it says the hard part was creating a flat map of Earth's surface with 4 months of satellite data. Then we wrapped a flat map around a ball. Honestly, I don't think I need to say anymore. But send this to somebody that you've been arguing with about the shape of the Earth, and all they have is, well, NASA's images that are all computer generated images.
In the sky? This is impossible!
Ed was right! The sky is falling! Thank you very much. So now what?
I'm afraid we may just find out, Eddie.